Welcome to another episode of That Crazy Triangle Guy. Here I am to spread hopium amidst all the doomers and gloomers out there. Now we're looking at Chainlink on the 5 minute time frame. Back on Sunday, September 10th, just to discuss briefly this little bear trap dumpola party we had. If you look back at now let me start off first by saying I went into more detail discussing the August 14th dump and how it really occurred. I believe it was at 1900 hours or something like that. Uh, and we had a similar situation, hours before the real dump. And here we had a similar situation over the weekend where the start of the dump was here at between 0 and whatever 0020 um, at the beginning of the new day on Sunday, and you can see it here with this dump. Now it wasn't a lot, so like 20. What is that? 20,000 Chainlink tokens here. So it wasn't a huge amount of tokens that were dumped across the board, and it wasn't entirely across the whole crypto market, but it was enough to get things going. And then we saw further dumpage at about 4 o'clock here, or 4:20 there. How appropriate that is. I just want to go back and see if we can look at the 14th of August for a second. Here we are. Yeah, at about 1900 hours is where we had the beginning of the dump here. How much was that? You know, I gotta turn this guy off and get that candle out of there so I can see. Okay, so that was like 36,000 that started that dump. And then you can see later on we had the bigger dump here when the rest of the world caught on. And we had a similar situation just now, where you can see we had this dump here with the volume right as soon as Sunday started, and then several hours later had the dump that took us down further. Little dump here, much bigger dump here. Now, initially, I thought that somebody was, I thought maybe it was one of these exchanges, these failed exchanges, dumping their coins, and then I heard about FTX, but FTX hasn't started yet. So you know what? Who knows? I mean, there's a lot of speculation. Maybe this is just normal movement of market makers. That's what they do. They dump on the market. I don't know. I don't know what all this is, but it's just one thing's for sure is that this was a nice big bear trap for you guys. And where are we? Oh, you don't really see it there. Anyway, why am I looking at Chainlink? So that was the start of that. Well, I guess if you go like this, you can see this nice bear trap. There you go. And then right back up to where we were. That's not a good example. So let's get on with the rest of the stuff. Okay, so one thing I want to do before we get into other things is I want to pump Render. Now, Render seems to, and I'm talking about Render because I own a lot of Render and I want it to do good. It's doing so. It's one of my better performing altcoins, and I want it to continue doing well. So I'm going to talk about it, and it seems to be really moving. It's come down a little bit. It was about up to 8% or so, I think, earlier. But it's had a nice move on the day. Um, and like I said, it seems to be a leader in the making moves before the rest of the market does. It's just the sense that I've gotten from it. Now, here's one of our charts that we made, and we haven't visited it in a while since Render was traveling up and down in this channel. Now, it's interesting. I had predicted that it might do something like that, and it started to. It came up to the center line and almost followed my lines pretty well. And then what happened right here? What happened on June 5th? Freaking Gary Gensler happened. All right, so this is what happened. This is what Gary does. It's this. Gary does this. Gary bad. So, but what I'm really happy to see is that we're trading in this parallel channel that I made 5 months ago. And where did we come down to? We found support right here at the bottom of the channel, which shows me that this is legit here. Also, so we're bouncing off of here. The next natural move would be to continue onward and upward back towards the top of the channel. Although this line represents the top of our previous triangular pattern or formation here, so could see some resistance here at about 220. But I see us over the next month or so headed back up at least to the center line of this channel, up around 365. Our previous high was about, oh really? Previous high was only here about 288 or something like that. But yeah, we got to at least hit the center line of this channel over the course of the next month, which would take us up, yeah, around 350, 360, something like that, and potentially on further. I think, when we go back and look at the here, total 3, zooming out at the whole scheme of things in the macro, we are at the bottom. I guess I got to go on a weekly to zoom out more. Here we go. Oh, this looks a lot like Render, actually. That's pretty funny. So trading in this parallel channel, here we are, and this is over the entire history of the altcoin market, and we are right here, ready. The next natural move up. Next natural move would be upwards this way. Now this is on a weekly time frame, so I'm covering a lot of time as I go up like this. But this is where we're headed. Okay, see, I'm already at the end of the year right here. So this isn't going to be over the course of the next month. We're going to go up here. That's over the course of the next year. So yeah, next year. I can't make this do what I want. There we go. Yeah, so next year, where are we going to be? Up here about 1.7 trillion, probably. So about 6x from where we are now, at least, I believe. Anyway, but this is where we're at. And this is why it's so scary and seems like nothing's going to happen because this is the turnaround point right here. We are right here. And so over the course of the next few weeks, over the course of the next week, we might see some volatility. After the FOMC meeting, I think we're going to start moving upwards here. And other people are talking about the quad witching, which also occurs at the end of this week. Anyway, I think we're going to see some action coming here in the next few weeks as we move upwards off of this line and start our move, our bull market, because a lot of people say we are in a bear. Well, Crypto Wenyo constantly says we're in a bear market. She just says it nonstop, nonstop. And when people repeat things nonstop, they're trying to. It's called propaganda. But you know what? She's right. We are in a bear market. I mean, as far as the altcoins go, we've just been trading in this parallel channel since June. Now, on other charts, I have it actually where this dashed line is the top of the channel, and there's a center line here that runs through here that we held support on. But when you look at the grand scheme of things, in reality, this is the the bull flag. I hate it when my thing does this. This is the bull flag in our multi-decade bull run. Bull run, bull flag, bull run, bull flag, bull run. All right, so back to render. That's funny. I just noticed how they look the same, kind of, except for this one's not coming from down here. Boom, and it's over a much shorter time frame. So I wanted to turn on the Gaussian channel. We're on the daily, so we are heading into we just broke into the daily Gaussian channel here, and what has happened in the past when we've done that, broken in the daily Gaussian channel, boom up through it. We're on the daily chart now, yes. So boom up through it. When I say boom up through it, that's of course of a couple weeks. Here again, up through the channel, boom. And these are big gains. Over 2 weeks, 50%, 60%. Over 2 weeks, 160%. Here again, over a month, 400%. You get the picture. Whenever we've been at near the bottom, gone up through consistently. Not here, not since Gary. But here we've fallen out and we're breaking back up into it. I expect us to go up through. Like I said, maybe have some trouble here and even possibly come back down. Who knows? We'll see what happens once we get there and what the general market is doing. This is heading into October. It really depends on a lot of different stuff on whether we at this point we continue upward or come back down for a retest here before moving upwards. But overall, by the end of the year, we could be up in this area somewhere. So that's multiples from where we're at now. um, so we don't really need to go over that. What else did I want to talk about today? Bitcoin. Let's get it off of this Gaussian channel. Oh, one thing I wanted to show you is because a lot of people talk about how Bitcoin leads the way and altcoins follow, and there's a lag. So anyway, I'm working on a discussion of that. So that's what that is. It's not done yet, so that'll be coming up soon. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, I did want to talk about moving averages because a lot of people have been talking about this death cross. And I did bring it up briefly on my last video, and I was talking about the weekly. But the death cross, I guess everybody was talking about, was on the daily, and I haven't been following it, honestly, because, death crosses and golden crosses on moving average are a bunch of BS as far as I'm concerned. They don't predict price action. Price action predicts them. They're just a natural the flow of things. And a lot of times it depends on what part of the market you're in, whether you're in a bear trend or a bull trend. And those are just natural events that happen. And we're not as far as Bitcoin goes, in a bear trend. We're in a bull market since October, like the rest of the uh, equity market. Um, let's get it off of here first. So when we have a cross right now on the daily time frame, it's just a natural occurrence in this accumulation stage that we're in. So where's Bitcoin in the whole scheme of things here? What's really interesting now? Why? I'm going to move this line here. This line that represents the um, this did not go through here before because we're on the weekly. What happened? The candle. See, this is what's so weird. See how this candle wick is down here, 24,908, but this blue line is up here. Let's go to the 5-day. I'm noticing this on. See, now the blue line is right here. I'm noticing this more on TradingView, where the lines, depending on what time frame you're on, they move. So we wicked right down to the center line of the 5-day Gaussian channel, and now that is very, very significant. I'll turn the Gaussian channel on now. We're on the 5-day time frame, and you can see that clearly we wicked right down to it. And I need to move this line there just a little bit. Wicked right down to it, bounced off. And possibly that's what this whole dumpage thing was about. And possibly that's what the whole dumpage was about on August 14th. Because it's just the people moving the market, trying to get us to where we need to go in the time frame we need to get there so that we can pump where we need to, they're painting a picture here, and it's our job to figure out what the picture is going to look like. And I believe we know what the picture is going to look like. And God, why am I doing that? I've shown you what it's going to look like. Now we are on the 5-day time frame with the Gaussian channel. Let's move these. I haven't looked at this on the 5-day before with the Gaussian channel pulled up. But this is our 13-year bull run, which I just showed on one of the previous videos. Bull flag, bull run, bull flag, bull run, bull flag, bull run. We are at that point and about to bounce off this major trend line. Now, is this a point of no return if we cross this line? No. We did not cross it here. However, we did cross it back here in 2016, 2015. It's a trend line. It has acted as support and resistance. Yeah, we just came right down to it here. Now, with FTX, we did come through it a little bit. Now, I do have extra little lines, dashed lines drawn below the red and green dashed line. And that is just because I just drew those recently because of our recent price action. And this first one, I drew down to our wick here to see if it matched up with anything back here. And it does. It matches up with the bottom of this wick. And kind of that candle there. But let's turn this off for a second and go on a daily. So where we wick down to is this line. And this is back during the FTX collapse. So you can see it kind of has a lot of action right along there. But I drew this other line here at the to create actually a line of no return here. And let's just see where that puts us. Now I moved this line and I'm actually going to get rid of it because we know the numbers are coming out and not tomorrow but the next day. So the point of no return line is here at about 24,278 on the day of the FOMC meeting. But it's very steep. So even like the next day, it's 24.3. But I'm just throwing that out there. I don't see us coming down here. This red dashed line is the bottom of the weekly Gaussian, or the mean band of the weekly Gaussian channel. I don't see us coming down there. We did bounce off of here. I see this bounce as more likely holding is real, a real bounce. And I want to say we're just going to continue up here through the daily Gaussian channel here. Let's turn that on. It's right here. I want to say we come back up through it. It's just a natural. God, why can't I think of the right words? Progression, natural progression of the price action is when it comes down this far below the daily Gaussian channel, the next move is typically back up through it. The only reason I'm hesitant in saying that is because the FOMC meeting is next week. Will we pump into the meeting or just continue sideways and pump after the meeting? Maybe just, I don't know. I'd probably more sideways in this range and then pump into the meeting. But just watch out because crazy things are going on. This is the final shakeout before we pump. And I've been rambling, and so I'm going to stop. And was there anything else I wanted to say? No, I think we'll leave it there. All right, see you next time.